Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be out in the wild here in Leduc, Alberta, just kind of working remotely today, getting caught up on some stuff while I'm waiting for things to come back from clients. So I thought I would take some time to get this in. Hopefully the background noise isn't too bad for you guys. But today we're going to be looking at the process of painting this portrait of Dalinar Kholin from the Stormlight archives by Brandon Sanderson. He himself has gone on record saying that he thinks Dave Bautista would be the perfect Dalinar, which I kind of agree. I think, like, after going through the process of painting this, I think his physique and his look and his appearance would be like super spot on for the character. But anyways, sort of diving into some of my thoughts here this week. I'm just about halfway through the process of the 100 portrait challenge, starting portrait 49. And I've had to, I have to slow down a bit. So I'm on pace right now to be at, like, I'm in the middle of the year, and I'm in the middle of the portrait process. So I have been able to kind of, I guess, keep on pace to this point, but I need to slow down. The summer's been extremely busy so far. It always is. There's always stuff going on that, I suppose I don't think about throughout the rest of the year, that sort of becomes prevalent and demanding on my time, that I have to sort of deal with and address. And so, you know, pace needs to dial back a little bit and just kind of work on getting things completed, work on, I don't know, just maintaining sanity and in the process. I do feel like my painting skills are growing. It's getting better as I go, easier, I suppose you could say. I feel like in regards to painting and with this piece, you can kind of see there's not a whole bunch of fighting that I'm doing with it. I do kind of address some changes, tweak his hair a little bit and such throughout the process of the piece. But again, it's the same process, building from sort of the blocking in to the more details of the process. So kind of just maintaining that same structure and approach to the painting process. Yeah, I think that I've been doing a little bit of drawing in my sketchbooks and drawing in digital media lately, trying to get back into, I guess, feeling my way back into drawing, because as I've been going through this process, I've been kind of expediting the drawing process, as you know, in order to achieve the likeness and the accuracy of the drawing a lot quicker. So I've been doing more tracing. And that is definitely speeding up my process of creating these pieces. But at the same time, I feel like I've sort of handicapped myself or shorthanded myself in regards to my growth in my ability to draw. My ability to paint is definitely it's sort of, I would say, expediently improving. I find that the finishing and the structure of the pieces is coming together a lot quicker. I'm starting to understand light and shadow, color and tone a lot more, and that's been great. So I definitely see growth in those areas, but I definitely feel that there's a bit of a lack of growth in drawing, which is disappointing. I kind of thought that I would be able to sort of achieve both at the same time, but I don't feel like that's happening. So I definitely will be having to go through a process of just working on drawing when I'm done this. I might actually kind of work on integrating some of that over the next few months here in my drawing time, my drawing practices, because it feels like it's stagnating a little bit. It's just not cool. But like, I've been hyper focused on this challenge, right? So I think in some senses it's sort of okay to focus down on something for a time and allow that to be your focus. It's just important to integrate the skills together. and work on, realize that what you need to work on, and then spend whatever time you can working on it. So I will be, trying to invest some time into my drawing again. I don't know, like, I guess, so here's the thing. I've always, ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to be able to see something in my head and put it down on paper. And I'm not there. Like, I can't do that. I really rely on photo reference and, or, looking at something in nature or observing something in order to be able to draw it accurately. And I guess in my head, and maybe this is just, some artists are good at this and maybe some people aren't. Like, maybe this is just something that I would have to invest a ton of time into in order to be able to do it accurately. But I think of my friend Matt Rhodes, who is an incredible artist, and he has this incredible ability to draw stuff from his head. But I know that he's invested loads and loads of time into that ability, and so I do think that he's got a higher skill ceiling than I do, natural talent ceiling, and that helps him. But there is such a fluidity and natural approach to his drawing, and so he's a concept artist for BioWare. Well, now he's an art director, but for years he did concept art on a lot of their AAA games. But you can see the heavy lifting that he's done and the training that he's done is there. You can see it in his work, and his ability to just draw, the human figure, and then draw exciting, interesting interesting compositions and interesting character designs. And he's got a really interesting, a very robust visual language that he's pulling stuff out of. So, maybe someday I'll start to get there. Or even I think of Greg Manchess. I talk about these sort of like art parents, people that it's kind of like glomming onto to try to grow towards in terms of my skill sets. Greg Manchess is similar. His drawings are so beautiful, loose but beautiful, and just strong and structured. I do believe he's working from photographs, from reference photos. So he's not drawing from his head. And so maybe I just need to dial things back. And when I go into my sketchbook and I want to draw some stuff, maybe I just need to draw from reference and just work on drawing what I'm seeing instead of, chasing this sort of elusive, kind of unrealistic goal of being able to draw things accurately from my memory. That's probably true. It is frustrating and limiting, though. There's sometimes I wish I could just like sit down and draw, something cool from my head, and not have to go through the process of, finding imagery and images and whatever to pull from. Like last night I was just kind of doodling around trying to draw the Incredible Hulk, and it was just like not working. So I took some photo reference of myself, which is kind of silly because I'm lanky. The Hulk is like big. But just trying to figure things out in that respect. So in regards to the painting here, as I've been nattering on about all this stuff, you can see now like I'm starting to kind of play with the hair and just like trying to figure it out. Dalinar Kholin is this ex-soldier general guy who I wanted his look to be sort of like regimented and militant looking, like sort of military, but he's also like a sage, kind of a prophet, I guess, in the books. And so I like, he's also like this really feared combatant. They call him the Blackthorn. And he's just this like fierce, very feared combatant on the field of battle. But he's kind of going through all these changes in his philosophy and shifting in his view, understanding of the world, where he relies more on his leadership and is trying to unite all these disparate military forces within the kingdom. And I feel like Dave Bautista could really carry something like that. I think it's a very dramatic role with a very like heavy dramatic and interpersonal relationships, but I think he could pull it off, and I think that it would be neat to see him have the opportunity to do something like that. It'd be interesting. I know that they've talked about probably doing more of a not a crazy movie, but more of like an anime with them. So I think that would be great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that these videos are providing you with some information that's helpful, and I will be producing more, and thanks very much for your support as usual.